Welcome back to the Beyond the Summit studio where we're live with the G1 League LAN playoffs. G1!
G1!
I'm Gods, he's Luminous. Game 2 coming up soon. Orange have taken Game 1, and DK looking to bounce back after their Game 1 defeat. Luminous, he's cleaning his glasses. Got to make sure he
A
can
lot
get
of
there.
dirt on that glasses.
Got to make sure he can see my screen because he's actually having some problems with his own connection to the Dota 2 servers in Perfect World. But hopefully everything will be fine here in Game 2. We got through Game 1 okay. Do you see DK bouncing back? I guess we really have to see the draft first.
I mean, if you look at the last game's draft, if on paper, and I saw, oh, DK got Lone Druid, they got this really good trialing consisting of Visage, and they got a good solo mid DK, just like center lineup.
Yeah.
I thought they would be like, oh, easy win. But it really comes down to how Orange forced the issue early. A good point that LD brought up during the analyst is that, sure, yeah, DK had a great lineup to take towers, but they're not really good at defending tower. And once Orange got on board in terms of claiming towers one after another, they just snowballed and took all of the towers. And really, when you're trying to push, when you're behind, it really doesn't work out well.
Yeah, I think that's something where Visage has become a top tier support, but he's not a support that plays well from behind. You have to either stay on par even, or you get ahead. He's great for snowballing, but if you're behind, you have Visage from playing from behind, Juggernaut's not good playing from behind. None of the heroes were good for defending towers and playing from behind, which really worked against them. Orange this time around, they're on the Radiant side. They've got first pick, which I think they prefer first pick. Most teams nowadays do seem to prefer having first pick. They don't even care as much about the dire side advantage. So we'll see how things go here. Still Lone Druid in the pool as well as many other strong heroes. I imagine we may even be looking at another Clockwork pick from Orange. It really suits their aggressive style, and it's a great hero for finding those pickoffs.
Yeah, and I think DK should try their best to get a Clockwork himself as well. Super plays it pretty nicely. And we'll I think that's going to be easy kind of second pickup once the draft shifts back to them.
Even going back for the Kunker, I feel is a
sure,
decent idea.
that's a thing as well. I don't see Orange first picking it. They're going to go with the Magnus, and that just almost screams counter pick Clockwork. I think Ali was waiting it throughout the weekend. I was waiting it throughout the weekend. We just see Mu from Tongfu just shred solo mid Magnus all day long with his own Clockwork. We'll see if that's going to be the case. I think the Kunkka versus Magnus matchup isn't bad. Too bad for the Magnus as well. You could actually deny fairly easily when you have a highly leveled Tidebringer. And of course, we saw yesterday the X marks the spot. It's such a good way to actually pick off Magnus during the mid game. But we'll talk about that if Kunkka's being picked up.
I think the key thing is here for DK, I don't think they have to worry about Orange picking Clockwork. I don't like Clockwork and Mag on the same team. Both heroes kind of want the mid lane. Clockwork's an okay offlaner, but I feel like the way where he's dominant is when he's in mid. On top of that, they both fill a similar role, which is that long-range initiator. Sure, Mag's a more teamfight-based one, where it's not looking for ganks and pickoffs as much, but I don't think Orange want to have both those two heroes in the same lineup.
I almost want to say that Clockwork is actually better for the way that Orange wants to play. Going back to what we saw from Game 1, you know, one of the supports on DK gets out of position. You kill him, that's it. With the Clockwork, you instantly get a second kill when you get the Rocket and Clockwork hook and then the TP. Without Blink Dagger or Magnus, or even with the Blink Dagger or Magnus, he doesn't have nearly the same range as a pickoff ability, so... but they will actually go for the Magnus here, and there is a Clockwork as an immediate answer from DK and a Darkseer. I really like these two. You have a little bit of nice synergy combo. You can actually vacuum first into a 3-man cogs or something like that, or once you have the cog down, you have a vacuum into a humongous mana burn spell.
I think the best early game synergy is that you just put Iron Shell on Clockwork and he hooks in. No, hook.
Or sure. Yeah.
Because it's a long range, around the time where, because assuming both these heroes are solo, Darkseer in the offlane or jungle, Clockwork mid, around the time where Clockwork hits level 7, level 7 Clockwork with a level 4 Iron Shell on him, that's like insta-kill on almost any support hero or anyone who gets caught in those cogs.
Or even like a half HP Magnus, or maybe even 80% health Magnus. So yeah, very nice combo. The lanes are already perfect, and you have so much kind of solo abilities. Also, when you pick up a Darkseer so early right now, it allows you to draft, as we hear a scream in the background, allows you to draft in such a way that you put your Darkseer in the jungle, you put your Clock solo mid, and then you have another kind of long lane top. And what that gives you is basically level 2 ganks, level 3 ganks. It's going to be a Lion Shell, like you said, into a Surge, and the Clockwork's running in with Battery Assault, with Clockwork Cogs. It's actually so hard to survive against that, even if you have Skewer.
Orange are going to... I feel like they need to start planning. Do they want to go 1v1 matchup against Darkseer and go tri-lane versus tri-lane like they did last game? Problem is, who do you send 1v1 against Darkseer? Anti-Mage is the perfect pick here, I feel at least.
Why do you think it's so good? I mean, he's a great hero. He steals games.
DK, neither of these two, DK picked both their solos. Neither of them matches up well against Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage, you can send 1v1 against a Darkseer. He dominates that lane. I've seen Mouse Sports do this so many times where they pull black, some regen, send him 1v1 against Darkseer, and Darkseer gets dominated. If they want, they can send the support set, protect him, and then just get guaranteed free farm on anti-mage. But the thing is, I just don't feel DK can easily shut down an anti-mage early game farm. They're going to have to go for a late game carry of their own or for a dominant mid game strategy.
And if you're going for a late game against anti-mage, you're kind of playing in anti-mage's court, not exactly what
it's
you want.
burning though, I mean...
Well, there you go. Now the big question for me is this going to be some sort of that solo mid kind of utility alchemist? I'm personally not the biggest fan of that one because you get that early mech, which is nice, you get the heart, that's cute. You need something big to go up against anti-mage, and perhaps this is the one.
I don't think it's a big question just because they've already got their 2 solos. Unless they're putting Darkseid jungle,
which is still a possibility, but a very, very small one. Also, I actually want to go back to your point about the anti-mage pickup. You see Clockwork, you see Darkseid. That's not really good reliable stuns. I mean, they have some, but it's not really good ones. And anti-mage you easily get out. And also think of what of the other common ways to shut down an anti-mage. It's, for example, a Queen of Pain mid, going for a quick Orchid or a quick Hex. That's not possible anymore because there's so many solo, like you said on the map. I'd like to see Orange actually banning out or picking up themselves a Silencer, because I feel like Silencer will shut down anti-mage early on with the gank, or late game shut down Magnus so hard. Like even if it drops an RP on 3 member of team, Silencer Global's in the background. What do you actually do as a team now?
And especially when both teams are likely to go for a safe lane, tri lane. Get their Alchemist farm, get your Anti-Mage farm. That's where you want to go for these greedy supports and supports which are strong in the mid to late game rather than your early game aggressive supports like a Leshrac. Well, maybe you can go Leshrac because he does scale pretty well, takes down towers and has decent damage. But heroes like Silencer with, I mean, being able to silence, having maybe like heroes like Lion, Shadow Shaman, all these greedier support options are a good idea. I think Visage is actually not a good pick here. Maybe for DK because you can dominate the mid game with Alchemist, not play for the late game farming Alchemist. If DK go Visage, we'll see them look to win the mid game. If they don't, if they pick up Silencer or whatever other sort of greedy supports, they're looking to just out farm, take it to late game. At the same time, I don't know if you want to go late game against the mag.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go Visage, you have to win the early game so hard, because that's another support that's not going to disable anti-mage come 20 minutes in the game. I'd rather see them to actually pick a support that may be just as greedy, like a Shadow Shaman or a Lion, but gives you such significant impact in the mid game when you get the free instant disable on that anti-mage. So we'll see actually what DK wants to go. Any thoughts on Orange in terms of the secondary support? Chen is not in the pool anymore. In fact, they ban out themselves. And whenever I see Orange play a dual support that doesn't involve a jungle play, they get so far behind in terms of goal and experience.
Yeah, they're not a team who farm up a lot their supports, but if they're going for a safe lane tri lane, they'll be used against the off-lane Darkseer, or most likely an abandoned off-lane, because Darkseer, if he sees something like a Rubik Lina, he's going straight jungle.
Right.
So I feel Lina's a hero that Extinct often plays as a secondary support where they have a support duo. I don't think you go in a jungler like an Enchantress. If you want to go for a jungler, it's something like an Enigma. We haven't seen Enigma pick at all.
That's a nice one.
Also, haven't seen him run in the jungle in ages. I don't think it's a terrible picky, but I think most likely we see a standard Rubik Lina type support duo.
I feel like Lina might not be the best particular support. If you look at DK, they're so damn tanky. You expect a quick mech out of either Clockwork or Darkseer, and that alone really shuts down your effectiveness of Lina, especially when Alchemist is on Chemical Rage. But with that said, it does give you a ton of early game pressure. Even if you're playing anti-mage, you can still knock down a couple of tier 1 towers if you have the aggressive supports in the form of a Lina. Looks like we're going to see a Bane Elemental ban. This particular ban, as well as alongside the Lone Druid ban, almost screams it's a 100% confirmation that Alchemist will be playing the 1 row and Burning will be handling it. Because if you're playing a supportive Alchemist or utility Alchemist, you don't need to ban out that Bane.
Yeah, I think the other reason why Orange want to go for something like a more early game spot like Lina is because DK can offensive tri lane if they want to. You have Clockwork versus Mag mid, Darkseid can go safe lane against whatever Orange send there, and the one hero who can go off lane solo and win the lane is something like a Lone Druid. Lone Druid's banned out, so there's no strong dominant off lane 1v1 heroes. So DK,
like predicted.
Yeah, that was like the easiest prediction of my life.
You should have actually like just made a bet with Merlini. He would have took that bet, and now he will be taking shots.
After the night before he left, I don't think he's taking any more shots for a while.
That's true. He needed a lot of trash bags the next day on the car ride back to the airport. Shout out to the Merlini police, which really got policed by us in the BTS house. But back to the DK pickup here. They need, I want to say, 1 or even 2 supports here. Any good support pickup? Is there where you kind of go, let's say, maybe a Keeper of Light to...
Keeper of Light's in the pool. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I don't think they're going offensive tri lane because there's not too many good offensive tri lane supports. Keeper of Light 1, they need a better setup, I almost feel. The only way...
They need some stuns. I actually want to see a Shadow Shaman or a Line. I feel like this is not that bad.
Enigma's okay, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just looking at anti-mage, and so far there's really lack of way. I'm actually straight up going on the learn tab and seeing all the
Skywrath mage support.
Silencer support is still in the pool. That's coming when we talked about Disruptor as a support.
Undying.
Undying.
This is something which DK actually one of the few Chinese teams who do run Undying support quite a bit. I've seen both QQQ and MMY play it, so.
Okay, so Undying almost 100% of the time means offensive trailing.
I wouldn't say necessarily.
It feels like if you're playing Undying on a safe lane where you're pulling in a 3v1 situation, it's similar to playing a Visage.
I think you
in
can
a safe lane.
But it's more you're gearing towards the mid game. Like not
Sure.
when I say mid game, I mean around the
seconds
sort of
remaining.
the 10 to 15 minute mark where you group up. Alchemist gets his first item and you look to take team
5
fights.
seconds.
Then he better get a ton of pull, because you can't have a level 4 Undying 10 minutes in and expect to do well. Like, he needs to be 8 or 9.
The problem, Undying's a good level 1 support, but he's just as good when he's like level 6, level 7 is where he's peaking.
Right.
So if you just safe lane your tri lane, get some pulls, get some XP farm, then you take the fights later on where you have a level 6, 7 Undying. At that point, Antimate, sure he's got farm, but he's maybe only going to battle for it. He's not coming to fights.
Right. To paraphrase Aoi here, who talked about Anti-Mage as a carry, he's only truly scary once he has Treads, Battle Fury, Manta, and another item. So you have a bit of time here.
I think he's scary with Manta.
Yeah, well, if you're trying to kill him with things like Orchid and Silence or whatever, he gets almost untamed at that point. But that's not what DK is trying to do. DK says, you could pop your Manta and fight us. You're at 900 HP. We're going to just outpower you. And I don't think Manta is really a big deal for that. I think DK is trying to hit this quote-unquote timing push. And I think that's going to come around 15 to 20 minutes in the game. And they have to get a ton of work done then. Like, I'm talking about knocking down all the outer towers.
They don't have a pushing lineup yet. They have no good heroes for pushing with. And that's where this last support pickup, I think they either go something like Keeper Light, offensive Trial, or they go Shadow Shaman, mid-game push. That's like your two options. Or you go for something like a Silencer, which is like mid-game team fight.
I think they need something that has a long-range stun or a long-range slow. Because if you want to go offensive Trial, you really need something to set it up. Crystal Mother effing Maiden. Ladies and gentlemen, we're watching some old school Dota.
Yeah.
CM Undying, this is one of the best offensive trialing possible.
Yeah, this to me looks more like offensive trialing. And Orange, maybe somewhat expecting this, picked up Windrunner to be a good offlane 1v1 hero. So Windrunner can go 1v1 against either Darkseer or the Clockwork. It looks like Darkseer because ROTK has picked it up. So they made sure that they have an offlane hero who normally struggles against dual lanes, tri-lanes, but can take a 1v1 matchup and do decently, at least break even.
Yeah, I really like the Crystal Maiden pickup as well. We talked about needing a support that gives you disable against Anti-Mage. Before he picks up the Manta Sao, that is going to be a full 2-second disable against Anti-Mage. You cannot blink under Frostbite. So I'm not too sure whether that is an added benefit of this pickup, but what it does give you at early game is 1,000 plus range on an AoE slow. If you hit 2 or 3, that's a big deal. It also gives you a nice setup to that decay. So let's quickly introduce both teams. DK down 1 game right now in this best of 3 situation. MMY will be playing the offensive Undying. You know, it looks like they're going to be doing defensive jungle. QQQ or 357 will be playing the Crystal Maiden. ROTK will be handling the Darkseer. We have Super will be playing the Clockwork, and last but not least, Burning will be playing the Alchemist.
Burning, lots of regen, stout shield. I still think we're seeing offensive trialing, just based on his item build.
Okay.
They've got, it's just a 5-man swing top. Maybe looking to meet Oranges there. Orange, they've got Lena being played by Extinct, the captain. KYXY on the solo mid Magnus based on his build. Net going to be playing a support Rubik. Ohio, he's looking to play that side lane solo Windrunner. And then finally, it's Mushi on the anti-mage. He's being pulled regen. Maybe do they even look to... I think this is the Orange offensive Windrunner tri-lane. Something that they do every now and then. They're maybe expecting a 1v1 matchup at bottom. I mean, I talked about how Mouse loved to run Antimage 1v1 against Darkseer. Antimage crushes this lane, if played well. Like, top-tier Antimage player versus top-tier Darkseer player, that's a lane that Animage dominates.
Yeah, Mushi definitely a top-tier player. In fact, the tri-lane up on DK for top. If you look at tri-lane versus tri-lane, normally people say, alright, I mean, DK's got so much offensive power with the Undying. It looks like we have DK up top. That's going to get a double DK stack, and you cannot fight MMY anymore. Look at QQQ running up on the high ground. Nice 2-man LSA. Illusion. They back off. No rune there. It's going to be Illusion up bot. I actually want to give the benefit, or give the benefit of the doubt of Orange tri-lane. I think they have this better tri-lane in terms of passive harass.
They've got... I think
3 600 range hero against a Crystal Maiden who has a piss poor animation.
Orange, in theory, should have 2 lanes won. The offensive tri-lane, the anti-mage at bottom should win against Darkseer. He didn't skill up Mana Break before picking up this Illusion Rune, or he could have completely destroyed Darkseer.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
But I think he was somewhat scared of an offensive tri-lane. He may wanted to make sure he could have Blink if need be.
Well,
The one lane where Orange can do okay, where DK will do decently is mid, I guess. Clockwork versus Mag. But if Mag plays it just safe and smart, he can still just get a bottle, spam, get some farm, maybe get slightly out farm.
A ton of high happening up the top lane here, and it looks like they're going to focus on Extinct. Crystal Maiden will be drawing the first blood. She dies as well. Decay is going to be flying through. Crystal Maiden dying there, by the way, not a big deal, because the first blood gold that she got was all reliable gold. So she will upgrade a courier, TP back in as if nothing had happened.
Cool. Sensual gets placed in the lane, yep, it's just in range as Observer, but MMY looking to wrap around again. Another 2-hero Decay.
Jesus,
so
look at how tanked this guy is. He's sitting at 900 HP.
80 damage a hit. This is like Treant Protector, man. Just get some auto attacks off. Actually, he loses some there. So that's the problem. When you lose it, it's not like Death Pact where it's health gain. You're suddenly fairly low HP.
Yeah, and you got to be careful when you're losing your decay stacks, especially if you're in front of a couple of support heroes. I'm surprised at the fact that Crystal Maiden did not go for her AoE Nova against a tri-lane. It allows you to hit more target, allows you to chase her a ton better, but hey, they got the better exchange of that kill. She's looking for the level 2. This is probably one of the most scary level 2 tri-lane possible from DK. There's just so much range, so much follow-up, and that Tombstone, it gets dropped at level 2. It is so hard for these intelligent-based support to deal with it on the Radiant side.
At the same time, it's a very small radius with the level 1 Tombstone.
Sure.
At most, you're maybe getting one zombie unless you have a stun or... Oh, you do have the Frostbite, so you can maybe get a second zombie, but I think...
Well, I mean, they have the Alchemist stun himself, so that's... I feel like they could just nuke people down. If Undying wants to go for their heal at level 2...
Yeah, he did go for the heal.
That's not a bad way to go about it either. You could actually swing a lot of engagement just by getting a decent amount of healing going on. But looks like, are they going to be charging in? MMY should be leading the charge and not 357.
Bottom lane, Mushi is in that 1v1 matchup. He's actually behind the Darkseer in CS. Darkseer was creep skipping, and ROTK, he's got his bottle up, so he's got to just keep on spamming Iron Shell. He was burned down to 0 mana, but with this bottle, he can look to try and do his best to break a bit more even.
Yeah, once he actually gets enough mana to double Iron Shell, that's where anti-mage start to really have a ton of time. Sure, he has a poor man's shield and a ton of regen to actually go through, but he's actually down to that single salve, so he needs to get up to that Ring of Health gold as soon as possible.
And I think this is the only way Darkseer can lane against the Antimate is by constant Bottle Crow. We're not seeing any Bottle Crow come out for super at mid lane. He's just getting ruined. Darkseer has exclusive courier use to bottle, send it back, rebottle, and this is how you lane against Antimate as Darkseer. It's the only way to do it and not get dominated.
Yeah, you can see that ROTK is actually...
Top lane. Ahaya gets brought down. There's another initiation coming from DK. They've taken one. They may actually go for a second here. Decay! They get the Lina as well. Undying Tri-Lane is back, Lumi.
It really is. I mean, seeing an Alchemist paired up as a Crystal Maiden and a Tri-Lane really gives me flashbacks of 2010, 2011 Tri-Lane, where that's all they did. That's all they did. And Visage being banned out, really a kind of a twist of fate, a sick twist of fate. In this, I guess, metagame, if you want to call it. But where does Orange go from here? Where you are losing the tri-lane terribly, you cannot pull your way back into this tri-lane. Do you just leave Ohio here and says good luck and just help out anti-mage bot, or do you keep at it?
The one thing, maybe they can look for a smoke rotation mid if they pick up a smoke sometime soon. Rubik, it looks like he's veering off mid. He's actually going to scout out these runes because he's realized that Clockwork is just picking up rune after rune, so he's going to make sure they get some rune control. The creep wave's pushed out to this tower, but already pulls happening from QQQ's Crystal Maiden, and where's that rune going to be?
Nope, super popping a battery assault. Going to try a little bit of pressure. Right. It is going to be on the bot lane, which I imagine that means Clockwork should actually have the advantage to pick that one up.
Mag's there. He's actually heading there. Clockwork doesn't have rune vision.
Ooh.
Dive team with no early game wards?
They de-warded one up top, right?
Okay.
Or did they?
I don't know. Maybe there was
Did
just
they even get early game wards? I saw sentries for sure on CM.
Yeah. Maybe this is one of those games where it's just like, we don't need early game wards. We're going safe tri-lane. Dax is going to the off lane, and wards don't really help him, so...
I mean, it's actually pretty sick if you think
Save
about
150
it.
gold?
If your offensive tri-lane is up 200 gold on your support having more regen, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. I definitely think it's a feasible way to play this. QQQ already has boots on his Crystal Maiden. Same for the Undying. Magic Stick on Undying, and well, more pulls happening. Burning. I think one of those could maybe.
Yeah, Windrunner got one. Okay. Pretty nice pickup here, but obviously Burning is still gonna get a ton of EXP under this pool. I'm personally a little bit surprised the fact that Burning has got 2 points into Grievo's Greed. In terms of Alchemist Tri-Lane, generally he goes into 2 points of Acid Spray by now. You just get a lot more damage. Now, it's not too much damage, really, but it's still the extra damage that you might need to get that one extra Lacet in. But because he's got Grievo Greed, he's actually farming a lot better than most other heroes on the map.
I think against 3 range heroes, they're not going to be in the acid spray all that long, so they're looking to sit back. DK actually going for a bit of a dive here. Alchemist, he's starting to channel the stun. He's got the movement speed. Yep, he gets now. Didn't actually see a stun animation coming out there.
QQQ in a little bit of trouble. He's actually fighting against 2 heroes. They have really left for it. The Fable comes in. Nice recovery coming out from Shackle shot onto 2. Great play. LSA is going to follow through as well. And here comes the Magnus on the background. He's going to drop the RP just for 1 Shockwave. There's going to be a Shockwave for the kill. Magic Stick up here for burning. I don't think he makes it out there. Long dive. Crystal Maiden had to drop a Nova on the 2 supports because the 2 supports were right-clicking her, and DK made a very sloppy rotation. Suddenly, the huge advantage you gained this trialing is all gone.
Yeah, they didn't take into consideration the mag rotation and also just fantastic plays from Rubik. He had 10 Magic Stick charges, which kept him alive, and also he did just some fantastic juking and jiving and got away. QQQ got isolated, brought down, so really big counter kills coming out from Orange. They needed that. They were falling behind in that trialing quite badly. KYXY also gets himself some gold and a kill, so all in all, for Orange, that helps them settle a lot more.
They will still be diving on the top lane here. Ohio will salve and Windrunner up, and looks like MLY is going to cancel that, and we'll be tanking a lot of tower charges as a result. MLY doesn't die, but neither does Windrunner. She's going to go all the way back. 2 supports are missing on the bot lane, and RTK should be very careful in the next couple of seconds. He has enough gold, or he could go Arcane Boots if that's what he wants, and I think he really needs one. Or you think he's going to be rushing the quick mech?
The Undying?
Or the Darkseer on the bot lane.
Darkseer. Oh. Yeah. I don't know, but I feel like Arcane Boots just gives more mana pool for Anti-Mage to burn down and just do additional damage to you. So maybe we just see something like a fast mech. He's got the buckler, so it is going to be a fast mech from RTK. He's just completely avoiding the Anti-Mage now. Anti-Mage with 2 points in mana break, not going for any stats here. I think this build's just fine considering he is in this 1v1 matchup.
Yeah. Well, Mushi, how's he farming? He's actually leading the entire game in terms of CS, and nothing to be unexpected when you go Quelling Blade, Furry Farm, Anti-Mage. He's so far doing okay. I think Orange is actually in a very good position now, considering the fact they just got themselves the rebuttal 2-3 kills. These kills meant a lot more than the early First Blood, because they give you a lot more EXP at this point in the game. It looks like Crystal Maiden might be careful. She's walking into War Vision. If she gets lifted, she's dead. Lift, LSA, power shot, done.
No way to save that. Undying now TV's back, and he had to go back. That was the other big thing, where he dived the tower before, didn't kill off the Windrunner. He had to go back to base, get HP and mana, then TP back, and a lot of time wasted. And now for the first time in the game, Super is leaving mid lane. He's looking to rotate. He's realized he spent too much time there, not really doing a whole lot. He hasn't shut down the mag and dominated the mag like he talk about that he can, and Super has just not seen any play or movement around the map.
Yeah, but the rotation is obvious. They have spotted 2 wards. Yeah, now they're actually perhaps going to drive him off.
They're going to go for a kill even.
Skewer him backwards. Super thinks RP's going to get dropped as well, and the telekinesis and a Fable. Yeah, and that's going to pick up that kill. Great play here out of the Magnus. I haven't seen 2 RP used by the 8-minute mark.
Yeah, I think that's... I would give more credit to Rubik for that one. The well-placed observer was spotting everything. He rotated to come down. Magnus just knew, well, an RP for a kill on Clockwork at this point is well worth it, because this is Clockwork who hasn't been involved in any of the action so far. And it's more space for Anti-Mage to free farm. Anti-Mage has Tread, Ring of Health, will be going for that Battlefury, I can only imagine, and his farm is ridiculously good.
Yeah, Clockwork really needs to pick it up. He hasn't had too many items. I think he's going to be picking up Treads as well as a completed Magic Wand, which are decent early game items. No, he doesn't even have that Magic Wand up just yet. Very surprised that he didn't pick up against a Magnus on the mid lane. Generally, you get a ton of magic spamming those Shockwave on you. He needs to TP in the lane and get a kill and get himself back in the game.
Yeah, Clockwork's actually going to walk his way out. He's got a smoke now to sort of prevent some of these wards spotting his rotations. I like how he walks to lane, because it means if action breaks out somewhere else, he can still TP to counter game. If you TP to a lane and don't get a kill, you've wasted so much time.
When you put down the early ward, you will also see down the enemy when they place down the ward. They did see RTK's ward getting placed, so they easily break that off. I like the fact that he buy the smoke for himself and now meets up with the support in the jungle, and they're going to be looking for one of the biggest backstab. This observer ward being placed on the Radiant team may actually work against them. They're like, oh yeah, nobody's coming to gank us. But here comes a full squad of DK members, and they will even cut through because they brought down these trees earlier.
Yep.
Clockwork Coke means a double kill right here. They will see it. That's a 2-man Cogs.
Man, perfect.
Beautiful Cogs here. Tombstone not even going to get dropped. They will bring them down. Any support TP coming in?
No RP, so you can't. It's Rubik's the only one you could potentially... I guess Mag could come with Skewer and Shockwave damage, but I don't think it would have gone well at all for Mag keeping in.
Yeah, they really needed that one. Is KYXY really going to come back in and make this play? He's got to be very careful.
He's looking to defend the T1 tower as much as possible. He's going to get some zombie gold here, maybe from the tombstone as well. Zombies actually get decent golden XP, as does this tombstone, but doesn't bring it down in time.
Meanwhile, we see RTK still farming away on the bot lane. He's very close to that mech, so generally 13 minutes is where you want to have it. He's actually going to get it earlier at the cost of not getting the... oh, nice deny here by Net. Just cheeky play, just denying
the rune from the high ground.
High ground to low ground. But yeah, Darkster generally wants his mech by 13. He doesn't have his arcane boots right now.
He doesn't have arcane boots. He can go soaring, and it's also at the cost of anti-mage free farm.
Right, so it's not really that... Well, if you go for big pushes right now, then it's good.
Yeah, I don't think RTK is plays bad, or I don't think he's played amazingly. It's just nothing to write home about getting an 11, 12-minute mech.
Yeah, it really depends on how DK use it. If they farm with this mech, this is not what I really want to see. Alchemist is one of the kind of the best early game hero where you could just turn on your Chemical Rage and start diving towers. When you have Crystal Maiden, really long initiation range. When you have the nice follow-up of the Tombstone, you could actually get a ton of kills and then tower kills with when you have the mech.
Yeah.
So let's see if that's going to be what they're doing.
Well, they've shown that they want to do that. They had the smoke rotation with the clockwork, and I feel like they need to do exact same thing again. Pick up another smoke, clockwork with the supports, maybe even bring the Darkseid because he's got the mech now and just take
and
towers.
Surge, Iron Shell, these are great early game
You can have Alchemist farming alone and go for a 4-man thing, or you bring the 4-hero smoke to the Alchemist, which is top lane. They want to get that T1 tower. They can maybe do so with a 4-hero smoke.
Yeah, the other big thing that I'm going to be looking for the Darkseid, which is going to be difficult for him, is how early he takes...
instant replay.
There you go.
On the Summit new
technology. Yeah, man, two-man hook, Cogs. I'm surprised that he didn't drop. Oh, that was the nice
shackle.
Yeah. That was some Chuan stuff.
Yeah, well...
The BTS production value, guys.
Didn't matter.
Burning Suns himself, because he's scrub.
Burning who?
Burning who?
Oh,
Did I say that? Did I just say that?
That's right.
Yeah.
I called S4 Hon trash, and look where he is now.
Did you actually call us 400?
Jokingly.
Okay.
Jokingly.
That was a joke, by the way, for anybody that did not realize. But
we're not allowed to make jokes here.
Not
allowed to flame. Only Vlad's allowed to flame players.
In Russian, and nobody understands him.
The players, the teams are ready, guys, so we'll hop ourselves back into the game now as... here we go. 3, 2, 1, unpause. I mean, we mentioned another smoke gang. I think especially DK, after the success of the first smoke gang, why not go for another? They were falling behind, and that smoke gang worked, so... Let's see another one.
Yeah, smokes is actually fairly useful for heroes like Undying and CM, which they're very slow in terms of movement speed. Gaining that movement speed and getting in position to drop your Tombstone, Decay, as well as the rest of your spells is very key. So these smokes are expensive early on, but very, very well worth it if you can find a tower kill or a couple of hero kills as a result. But so far, it seems like they're just trading farm, and this is the time where you look at Mushi and see what he's got. He's got 76 CS. He's very close to finishing that Battle Fury, and he's gonna have like a 14-minute treads Battle Fury and Calling Blade, and he's about to explode out of control. Yeah,
that'll be your 40-minute Battle Fury, your 18, 19-minute Manta style if he just flash farms neutrals, maybe even see some neutral stacking going on. Actually, Net just getting some farm XP there. Net's not levels. This is the orange supports.
Yep.
Both with 2 CS. Both with very pitiful net worth. At the same time, DK have a Crystal Maiden who's always going to be in the similar boat, but it's whether or not Undying can get any farm and items, which we're not really seeing just yet. Has a Gauntlet, maybe going to build towards an urn, so I don't think they're going to be out-farmed by the opponent's team supports here, but it's still... Why not get some support on, some farm on these supports, like Net on the Rubik, even Lina hero that can benefit from some Arcane Boots, something like a 4-staff as well.
I just want to point out that we probably need a statistic on Net's farm this game. He's probably got more farm right now than the 3 other support game he had combined, because he's 2-0 and 2. He's pulling neutrals. Yep. He's hitting level 6 on a good time on Rubik. He's actually made some good play. The dive early on tier 1 turned it around because DK kind of overcommitted. And then the good observer ward that allowed him to get a kill on the Clockwork mid. Yeah, very good play here from our support player.
I think even when the previous games where he's had no farm, that's just Orange playstyle. I don't think you can say it's poor play by him. I don't think you can say...
Definitely not, yeah.
It's Orange's
That's
choice.
how they played really sacrificial
they have
on the supports.
Three core heroes who get a lot of farm, and then the supports are just there giving them a dominant early game. They go for a lot of early game smoke ganks, a lot of early game aggression. It comes at the cost of their supports not getting farm. Completely different to a team like, let's say, Alliance, who love to get farm supports. Aki on his Chen will just rise all that. That's actually the one time where Orange will get farm on their supports, is when they pick that Extinct Chen, but otherwise it's no farm at all.
Well, actually, I want to talk a little bit about the Alchemist's item choices, as he has himself a Ring of Health, and then now goes for the Broadsword. So.
Battle Fury?
Battle Fury is kind of the thing. Do you think he needs a Battle Fury in terms of competing against farm? Do you think he should be playing a little bit more aggressive in terms of like a Shadow Blade, going for kills.
I think Shadowblade's an option. I think the Battlefield is not all about the farm. It's also one of the
nice damage,
best damage items in the game.
Yeah,
it's one of the most cost-effective damage items in the game as we hop ourselves back in. So as far as fighting early on, it's good. Shadowblade also great cost-effective damage item. So the problem is if you go Battle Fury then Shadowblade, it's 2 items which are pretty good offensively, pretty cost-effective, but you don't have anything defensive. You don't have anything like a BKB or just any tankiness.
Well, we're going to see DK smoking him on the bot lane. We talked about how the smokes are very effective. Now they're ganking Net. And Net, unfortunately, will be pulling.
Or
in fact,
Mushi.
I mean, Mushi's a nice kill. Crystal Maiden, Frost level, Nova only level 2. If you can force a blink back, but Mushi's going to blink forward. Nova misses. That's got to be it.
The hook, I mean, even if the hook lands here, he's going to have another blink soon.
Well, if they drop the Tombstone now and you get a Frostbite off, maybe? No, actually,
even with the Frostbite,
they should focus on Net. Actually, they cost Crystal Maiden on the high ground. Now Mushi blinks on the high ground. Blink RP, that's going to be onto 3. Burning will be stunning himself. The Tombstone's doing some work. They actually kill Anti-Mage. Alchemist now goes into the ulti form, gets 1 kill. He's slapping people around. Are they going to surge him up and go for No, you surge super. Nice 2-man LSA right now. Winner is getting herself out of there. The surge is coming through. Is there a buyback from Rubik? There is. And now that's a cue for retreat coming out from DK. That was a 3-man RP, and they're losing this fight.
Yeah, they're losing this fight. Antimate went back in. He copped a full Alchemist stun, which blew him up from like half HP almost. DK, they've got the mech. There's that fast timing mech. And, well, DK making good use of it. They're now the ones chasing a high are going to be brought down on that Windrunner.
Oh my god, that's stun. That stun drop Net takes me down to half.
He's going to skew a Clockwork with him, though, and that's not what you want to be doing. Not just Clockwork. Darkseid with an Iron Shell with him as well. 3, 4, 5 heroes. I've lost count how many kills DK just got here at the bottom lane, but it has not been good for Orange Esports fans.
They got a total of 6 kills involving a Rubik that have died and bought back. So I talked about Net's farm early on. Now it's gone. It's gone.
He's back to the normal quota.
The normal Net. And again, this is no disrespect of how he's playing really, really well. Just kind of unfortunate turn of event, and now DK is right back. The fact that they did not focus on burning down ASAP, and the fact that he was able to pop his ultimate. You just talked about his item choice. It's offered 0 defensive capability. The fact that he survived throughout a 3-man RP and all that, it's just poor communication on Orange and poor focus fire on Orange's part.
Yeah, Mushi goes immediately back to farming. He's straight back top, level 11 on him now. So he's, despite that death, that was worst possible kill for Orange to actually happen. Mushi, I mean, he's the one where they're putting all the eggs in as far as baskets go. But Mushi, he's back to farming. If he hadn't died there, he'd be looking at a Battle Fury already up. And I feel like that's the big thing. Orange didn't need to take that risk. They didn't need to take that fight. If it goes well for them, I guess it's a huge win, but why take that risk when you have Mushi Antimage who's out farming Burning on that Alchemist, and now that's been turned around?
Yeah, that's one of the downside when you have a free farm Antimage on the bot lane. You say, oh man, I'm going to keep my creep equilibrium all day here near my tier 1. That means the enemy tier 1's on. And that was really what allowed them to reinforce that team fight so quickly and so rapidly. Mid lane, Glyph is going to get forced out. TP's going to get drawn in by ROTK. We talked about earlier, I was asking, what do you do with this early mech? Do you farm with it, or do you fight or push? They fought, and it was so worth it. They got so much out of it, and now he's got himself the Arcane Boots. He could be looking for a quick Hex or Shivas or whatever he wants. Really, really big play coming out from RTK during that one big team fight.
Clockwork, I like this. He TPs to the tier 2. Are we seeing another smoke?
Yeah. I think we are, yeah. It's going to be a 4-man smoke this time.
Third smoke in the last sort of 5 minutes, and everyone has gone so well for DK. Although I say that the last smoke gank, it didn't really start well. It just turned out well when Alchemist arrived. And there we go, hookshot initiated. There's no Iron Shell on him, but it's still enough damage to bring down the high. Now there's an Iron Shell coming out. Mag, RP gets used on 2, but there's going to be enough. Lina with the burst damage brings down Crystal Maiden. One sister onto another, but Lina going to get brought down by the Clockwork with the Iron Shell, as does Magnus. He goes down. Antimate's the only one sort of not at the fight. He's off farming. Rubik, I think, like TP'd out in the middle of that fight, but another fantastic fight for DK.
That was some hot sister on sister action, but he should have Laguna play MMY instead, because you cannot allow Undying to drop off that tomb, decay, and heal everybody back up. CM is a nice kill to pick up, but to win that team fight or give your team a better chance of winning team fight, you should blow it on MMY instead.
Yeah, and it was another, nice shackle shot. I don't think it's going to matter. There's no follow-up. Just trying to stall this tier 1 tower being brought down. But DK, they're going to commit to this. Deny
here. Great play. Also, Surge being picked up by Net. That's a really good spell and an important spell to have, especially when you have zombies and Crystal Maiden still on you. That's a very, very powerful spell to pick up, so good job to see Net doing it. But looking now, DK going into the main jungle, putting out a ton of wards, looking to D-ward as well. I think DK has grabbed himself a strong foothold in this game. And it's off. Mushi, he still doesn't have his battle finish. This is one of the... Look at his CS. He's got 120 CS in 16 minutes. This is insane.
He's got, I'd say, on par. I think I've seen higher CS than Antimage, but still doing fantastic. They haven't brought down any towers. He did die that once. He's got a couple of assists, but I guess there's just nothing apart from that farm that he's been getting. And also some of that farm probably was that neutral creeps in his own jungle. But Battle Fury now are up, so 17-minute Battle Fury, not bad with the treads. He did win his lane, but he needs to just keep on farming, get the Manta ASAP. It's like you said earlier with when you were talking with Code, it's not just about the Battle Fury. You need the Manta style and +1 item.
Yeah, and if you look at Burning, he's got his Battle Fury. Not only is he farming, he doesn't have Blink, but I think Greevo Agree allowed him to keep just up. It also depends on how hard his supports are going to be stacking. And also, you got to keep in mind that we are going to be moving into more of a farming stage. DK has used 3 of their smokes. They're out of it right now, and it's going to be Orange that's going to be doing a big smoke gank up on DK. Let's see how quickly DK can react. And they do have all their tier 1 towers still up. It looks like they are going to be coming right on. Oh no, Blink RP, that's going to be hit onto. Skewer backward, where is it? But they are going to really blow him out. Look at Lina doing a ton of work. And looks like it's going to get tossed on the high ground. Nothing just yet. Tombstone gets dropped down as well. I don't think DK should be chasing. Is Burning going to come from behind?
He's channeling the stun. I don't know if he's going to be close enough to actually grow this stun out. He's in ulti form. Surge. What nice play. No, not quite.
Yeah, I really think that was a poor chase from DK. If you drop a Tombstone, you fight near that Tombstone. If they run away from that team fight, you say, well, too bad. We'll take a fight another time.
Nope, he's not going to get this tier 1 even. Every time Mushi goes for a tower, immediate TP comes in from someone. This time, as with many other times, is Burning on that Alchemist TPing in. It's still a 1 good fight for Orange, and they make use of one of their smokes here. Yeah, the 18-minute mark.
They're very lucky that ROTK was not near during the beginning of those RP. If he got his mech off, you're still going to lose one of those 2 heroes, but it would have taken Orange a longer time to get those kills, and that meant that Burning would have been there, MMY would have been there with the Tombstone, so...
if that's a head-on fight, it goes so poorly for Orange, because just looking at these hero levels, DK have all 3 of their core heroes level 11, level 12. Orange, it's only Mag and Antimage. Their Windrunner, not very good on levels. Antimage is the highest level, but Antimage isn't even fighting.
Clockwork Hook in the mid lane here. They find KYXY. The Iron Shroud now gets dropped. The Cog should follow through, and I don't think KYXY make it out of there. What did Xing steal? What did Net steal? It's going to be Iron Shroud, which is not too useful right now.
Maybe a bit later on you could put on the Mag when he's looking for a Blink RP, or even looking onto the Antimage if he's coming to these fights.
I think DK go Roche now, right?
Do they have the best Alchemist? I don't think they've got a great Roshan.
They got assist, right?
Yeah, they can. It won't be the easiest and fastest Roshan, but it looks like they are going to go into the Roshan pit, knowing that no Mag up. RP will be up when he respawns, but they're not close enough to contest this.
Yeah, it's really hard to actually walk into a Roshan pit dealing with the Tombstone. So far, we don't have enough physical damage on the Orange side to actually kill the Tombstone as soon as possible. If your anti-mage has Empower on top and maybe BKB, he could safely do so, but not right now. And DK knows that, and they will straight pick up the Aegis. Burning will be taking that one up. And he's up to 2.8k gold. Anti-mage gold check. He's got himself 1500. I'm saying 1500 because he has himself a Blade of Alacrity. So you can see that anti-mage is falling a little bit behind now. He got himself a tower.
That T1 tower brings him back to almost even with Burning as far as net worth goes. And that was the trade for DK. It was a slow enough Roshan that Antimage had time to bring down the T1 top. And these other, well, the other T1 at bottom, Antimage will get that probably in the next couple of minutes as well, maybe once he starts.
Well, if DK don't TP for it.
Yeah, it's low enough. There's no more glyph anymore. But if actually there is glyph back up. Sorry, but if DK looked to group up and take a team fight, Antimage is always split pushing, always split farming. He has not shown any intent to come to team fights apart from the one at bottom lane, which went horribly wrong.
Ooh, look at this early gem pickup. I was asking, what is ROTK going to buy next? It's going to be early. Shiva's back in the top lane. He's going to initiate on Burning, though. Burning got himself his ultimate off. Mushi's going to eat a stun to the face. Net just straight up TP out because he knows. The Clockwork Cook to provide a little bit. Chainstun, where's Mushi blinking? He's blinking up north. And he's going to straight up TP out. Close! And the mini stun coming up from Super.
That's a huge pickup as well, because DK just going to barrel down this top lane, try and take this tier 2 tower. Antimage, he's just picked up his Yasha. No buyback. Not that he'd want to be buying back at this point in the game, but he needed to blink into those trees.
Yeah.
I'm watching him blink upwards. I'm like, just blink into those trees and TP. There's nothing that can reach you.
I thought because Clockwork had that hook, I thought Mushi was going to make it out home for free, because he know that he can't blink south.
I thought he hooked too early. I thought he was going to wait for that hook. I'm surprised he actually used that early. And now DK, they deny the bottom tier 1. That hook should have maybe waited a bit, but Mushi misplayed it, and they get the kill anyways.
Well, we're asking what will Burning go for in terms of item choice. He's going to be going for a Shadow Blade as well. Earlier, we were talking about how this item build doesn't offer you that much defensive capability. It doesn't matter if you're going kind of ram head mode into everybody else.
They're far enough ahead. They've got the Darkseer mech. They've got a Clockwork who's initiating and providing a lot of backup and just crowd control that I think it's it's a decent pickup. And his next time after this will probably be something like a Heart and Assault Crest, a BKB to provide that survivability. I think BKB against Rubik, Lina, Windrunner is going to be a decent pickup.
The only thing I disguise a little bit about this particular item choice for DK right now is the fact that they're going to be taking a lot of fights near towers, where the invisibility part of Shadow Blade is not going to be that effective. But you still get a ton of movement speed, which will help you land your stuns. You still get a ton of attack speed, which synergizes almost perfectly with your ultimate. In fact, he's going to be tanking the tower, Shadow Blade will get delivered, and it's just so hard for Orange to actually take this fight. You can blink in and get a 2-man RP, 3-man RP, and that's nice. You're going to have to follow up with things like a Tombstone, a Surge Darkseer that's going to go straight to your face with the mech backup. That is hard here for DK to win fight. And earlier, before that anti-mage gank went off, I was trying to talk about ROTK early gem pickup. Beautiful play. Now they're going to have map control of the place as well. It's going to be hard for Orange to come back, and they have to do it through the back of anti-mage.
Yeah, it's going to be all about the anti-mage. Orange did win game 1, so those of you just tuning in to the stream here on Beyond the Summit, Orange taking game 1. This is DK looking to bounce back in game 2. Playoff brackets, it's the bubble race. This is your sort of third, fourth place decider match. Well, the third place team versus the fourth place team. Loser of this gets fourth place. Winner of this goes on to versus the second place team. And right now, DK saying that they want to get another shot at this. They want a game 3 against Team Orange to get that chance to verse LGD in that next playoff match. Yeah,
we're going to be having a ton of kind of long, grindy games. And this may be turning into one of them as we have 2 kind of supersized carries going at it. Speaking of which, if you look at Burning's Gold, you look away, he's got 4K now. So
what happened? Sell Quelling Blade, get BKB, get a Heart even. I feel like, sure, there's a lot of magic damage and stuns, but if you get a Heart of Taras, your HP is so high.
It doesn't matter. Like,
yeah, you're not killable. Maybe you get stunned for like a good 8 to 10 seconds in a team fight, but it's like, who cares? Once you're not stunned, you just go back to fighting.
In fact, if you get a Heart, it might even, like, they just don't nuke you anymore. Because it's just a waste of nukes. Maybe you don't get a Heart, so you can tank up a little bit. That is like the most backward logic I've ever said.
Yeah.
But it makes sense, I think. At least to me.
Anti-Mage needs to be carefully. And this is, I mean, we talk about Anti-Mage who was, at one point it looked like he was going to have a 13, 40-minute Battle Fury treads. And if you get that, you're looking at maybe a 19, 20-minute Manta. We're now 24 minutes in, and he's still no Manta. He's not even that close to a Manta style. He's fallen behind so much. Your Snowball Anti-Mage, it's, 20-minute Manta, and he's not even there. Not well far from it.
Yeah, again, I'm waiting for Burning's goal, because you look back, he's got himself another 1,000 gold on the map. He buys a TP drill.
Almost enough for a Heart. He needs about 400 or 500 more.
Yeah, well, will it be a Heart? I'm not even sure, because he has just so many item choices. I think a BKB, like you previously suggested, is just perfect.
Assault Crest the other.
Sure.
One of those 3 items, it seems to me, depending on what Burning.
They're gonna try to get a pick on AM.
Yeah. If he dies here again, it's almost looking like, I wouldn't say GG, but it's looking very bad for Orange.
South, Rocket's gonna actually scout it out. Where is the hook? Oh, rear miss. Nice back and forth juke
by Mushi. Yeah,
great juke, but backing backwards. Oh, that's it, right? You don't get the skank off. Super is just going for it, right?
That was juked by Mushi. He was running that direction, and then as soon as he sees the rockets cut him out, he backsteps and Clockwork misplaces the hook. But even if the hook lands, I'm still not 100% sure they would have killed him there. But it would have definitely been close.
It would have depended on Crystal Maiden actually whether she gets a frostbite off. And, you know, she's slow, so she does.
Well, the Radiant, the hero, once again, it feels like Windrunner is essentially a support hero. There's 3 Orange heroes plus the 2 Dire supports all around that level 8, level 9 mark, and that includes the Windrunner, who does have a 4-star, but at this point it just seems like a slightly more farm support with very little levels, very little ability to do much in a team fight apart from hope for some 2-hero shackle shots.
And this is why we don't see Windrunner on the long lane anymore. Generally on the long lane, you expect a hero that doesn't give you too much early game impact, but rewards you with like some sick mid game play, like Clockwork, for example, or a Darkseer, or a Prophet that could catch up. This is really a kind of heads-up play. Teams actually pick Windrunner as a full support, like Alliance. They run EGM as a support. They know that mid-game hero really should just need to land a shackle, and that's one of the most game-breaking ability for your support to have. But for a long lane, it doesn't really justify kind of having lackluster farm and not really the most game-breaking spells like Ohio right now.
Well, KY is going to have his BKB, so that's going to add something to Orange's team fight, but Alchemist, he's bought his item. It's an Assault Crest. As for the rest of the DK team, we're going to be seeing a Side the Vice build coming out on ROTK. He's got 2.2k gold, so that Side the Vice is going to be coming pretty damn soon.
Do you think that DK is going to be waiting for that Scythe to push? Because I feel like they're strong enough to actually just barrel down mid and start taking tier 2s right now. In fact, I feel like they are missing a little bit of value. Or do you think they're waiting for Roche? They're just waiting for something.
I was just checking the Roshan timer, and it's going to be coming up in about 3-4 minutes. They may look for tier 2s and outer towers, but not much more than that. They're actually going to bait Mushi at the top lane. Or KYX, he walked too far forward. He's going to reveal himself, going to get an RP on 2 heroes, but the tombstone is down. Those 2 heroes get burst down. Darks are in CM. No Darks in the fight is going to make a big difference. Immediate buyback. DK looking to turn things around. They're going to bring down Lina. Meanwhile, Alchemist in the backline has brought down the Rubik as well. 2 supports have hit the deck for Orange, and now a hook shot into a higher. 4 staffs on cooldown. He can't get out of this. He's looking for a shackle. Not going to find it, and burning straight to the tier 2 tower, although he does need some creep support. It is regenning up. What? No, oh no, those are just zombies. Those zombies don't count. And Orange, well, it's like, let's get out of here. Mushi back to farming, trying to just split push this mid lane. But DK, that's a decent fight for them. It did come at the cost of a Darkseid buyback. It was a 2-for-3 trade. And that, to get those, well, the Darkseid buyback wasn't even necessary. It was a bit of a waste from RTK even.
Yeah, I mean, actually, to me, that was a pretty decent buyback, because Anti-Mage would have took a tier 2.
Okay.
It would have traded tier 2, which, at the end of the day, you're like, yeah, we lost a team fight, but we traded towers. But the buyback actually protects that, forced Anti-Mage to go into different lanes.
What is this TP from Nat? You're going to see Mushi blinking. Mushi went BKB. He didn't actually go for the Manta style, and he's trying to fight with it, but he's immediately brought down to below half HP from Burning's auto attacks, and that forces Mushi back, so BKB pickup doesn't do much.
Yeah, I think he's almost forced into that BKB. He wants a Manta, he wants a heart, but the team's breathing down your neck right now, and you need to have an actually combat-worthy item, and BKCB is like the best one to do so, but you're just down too much item and gold compared to Burning. And time and time again, we see how good Clockwork is as a hero when you're winning and when you're chasing, because sometimes the team just runs away because they're too far away. Clockwork, you don't run away from that hero.
Yeah, Clockwork with a complete BKB makes him so damn tanky. DK going to try to take down this tier 2 tower. Imagine after this, they look to back off, take Roshan, which is respawning in about 90 seconds, and Orange, it's up to them to try to stop this. Blink Skewer, I don't think they're actually trying to go on Burning. They haven't got an RP for 5 more seconds, and DK, Wall, just going to zone everyone out. Actually gets vacuum back in. DK, Burning going to drop a stun out here. Not going to see any further engagements. They've used a DK Wall here. I think they just back off. I think they look for Roshan. I think they farm out the Ancients, farm out their own neutrals, get some wards up. D-Ward using this gem. Actually, have they even still got the gem?
I think they dropped it because RTK dropped, died in that team fight. I'm not too sure who has it now.
Maybe even destroyed. It looks like, I can't see it on any hero. Lina, no gem on anyone, so it looks like it was just destroyed, but get some wards up, farm out Ancients, farm out neutrals, and Roshan is going to be spawning at just the right time for DK. Orange, they do have the RP if they want to try and fight at Roshan. I feel like they almost have to. You went for this BKB on Anti-Mage, you have an RP, you have a BKB on your mag. Orange aren't going to have a much better shot than around this Roshan timing.
I'm glad you brought that up. They almost have to, and it's almost a situation where, like, you have this tiny animal that is being driven back in a corner, and they have to bite back, because this is one of the best opportunities. So Darkseid Wall is down. That's a big part of the team fight. Sure, you're down in terms of gold, you're down in terms of item, you probably can't even win a team fight, but I think this is Orange's best chance to do so, and if you do win the team fight, you secure the next Roche, and you basically come back if you wait in that team fight. And is Orange grouping up for a smoke to charge right in?
They have got the one smoke. They don't seem to... They're sort of veering off towards their own jungle. We're going to sit behind Mushi farming. Got to smoke now and go straight to Roshan. It almost feels like they're too late. DK can bring Roshan down so fast with Burning. Although Burning saving the ultimate, knowing that if they do come, he wants to have the maximum duration possible. And the other thing is, fighting into the Clockwork, who can just scout you out with rockets, hookshot in, is so difficult. But Orange, they don't go. I think they needed to, but they're going to now try and fight into a 2-life Alchemist.
Yeah, and 2-life Alchemist with the Basher, which will turn into Abyssal Blade very soon. Your Anti-Mage, not going to be a factor anymore. And how often do we say that, you know, having one of the fastest early game farm? Mushi just got shut down hard. It was just good Clockwork play. Kind of, they sent enough gank party. You don't have to actually kill Anti-Mage every time you gank him. You just have to drive him back and drive him away from the creep wave. And DK did that enough times where Mushi just can't keep up the farm against Burning.
I think DK are waiting for one more thing, and that's going to be the side of vibes on this Darkseid. And then with the Aegis, they're ready to go. Darkseid just a couple hundred gold away from that. So this next push coming from DK is going to be really scary, hard to stop. Even 3-4 hero RPs, not going to save the day, I feel.
Yeah, also, I think they're waiting for a finish Abyssal. What did Burning just sell? Did he sell a Quelling Blade just now?
He just bought something. Something coming out of the crew. Boots of Travel.
Wow. He sold his actual boots, and looks like he's looking to do a little bit of split push, and if the team...
That's the only way Orange are going to get back into this game, is by every time DK look to group up and push, Anti-Mage is pushing another
This is actually absolutely smart. We saw Loda did it yesterday, which to me was one of the most brilliant plays. You're ahead, you get a good boot to travel, and you don't allow the enemy team to split push you.
Well, right now, Orange, they can't even send Anti-Mage to split push the lane. He has got his Manta style up, but that alone, it's not enough right now. He needs a Butterfly, I feel. Just get that evasion. Even with Butterfly, I still don't see him sort of taking Alchemist in the man fight, but you need something just to help give you additional survivability.
Well, here comes the big push, and I do believe that Burning has 3 lives in these team fights because he has the Aegis, he's got the buyback, and Booty Travel will allow him to have 2nd life. And of course, the Scythe of Vice is up, Super looking for the Hawk. I almost say you don't even need to use a hook to initiate. You're just saying Burning up top and use his ultimate and that AC just to go on the tower.
I think he just needs to keep on hitting. He's sort of just being a bit tentative here. Now he realizes he can just go completely auto-attack away on this tower. He's still got a decent duration on the Chemical Rage, but he's going to back off. Creep Wave comes out, and Orange, like, they can't engage. The one thing they can do is go for a Blink Skewer, but they're not going to...
No, they can't even do that. One thing I forgot to mention is that Acid Spray. It's like the most OP counter to Blink Dagger. The AoE is so big that
it's
Mag, he's running back and forth, but his dagger just constantly cancelled.
DK, we're going to back off, farm some Ancients here, still being as efficient as possible with all this farming going on. Scythe of Ice is there. Everything they need is there as far as pushing goes. And I think it's just the Chemical Rage cooldown. They've got it back up now. They'll go back mid again. This time, they will get the tier 3 tower. Yeah,
they're going to just charge in. And again, there's 0 pressure for them to you know, go in. And normally say that when they're upper racks.
As far as buybacks goes, Radiant team with nothing. The supports, Lina as well as Winrunner, have buyback, but those are not supports that are going to make a difference when they buy back. It's heroes like Anti-Mage. I guess Mag to a small extent, if he still has RP up, you want buyback on, but if he's used RP, his buyback's not going to matter. So it's DK with the buybacks, with the great initiation, who are going to control this fight. I love this Observer just on the high
They
ground.
know what's up. The tower is going to be going down soon. Also, the other kind of synergy that we forgot to mention is that when you have a BKB or Anti-Mage, you're debuffing your Empower. Blink, RP, it's going to be on one-man RP. Will that be enough? And it's going to be a parade of Focus Fire against Burning. Super comes in. He is so tanky. He just ate Laguna. He will kill Mushi before dying himself. Now, he will respawn without the Chemical Rage, but it doesn't matter because it's cleanup duty on IO3 right now for DK. They are just killing everybody. There's buyback for Windrunner, but really, what is the Windrunner going to do?
It doesn't matter. I think our Orange's plan was, sure, Alchemist is Aegis, but if they kill him really fast under the tier 4 towers, he respawns not in Chemical Rage form, so he's a lot more killable, but they couldn't kill him fast enough. And, well, they lose the fight there. DK take mid-racks. They're going to swing bottom now. No Anti-Mage, no Mag. Orange GG out. We're going to a Game 3.
Game 3, guys. Game 3. A lot of people were questioning DK's ability to play because last game's score was like 24-2.
Yeah.
This game, not nearly as powerful as a thrashing, but DK was playing beautiful Dota.
And Orange, I mean, we talk about them non-stop. They're always a team who are there in the top 3, top 4. They've always had the ability to take games off the top teams, be it Zenith, be it DK, be it even IG. They beat these teams, they've taken games off them, but they seem to have this just inability to win in the big matches. They can't win the clutch matches. They can never take those championships, at least not outside of Malaysia.
Not consistently.
Yeah, they win those Malaysian championships, but put them on an international scale, whether it's the international, these big Asian tournaments like G-1 League, G League, they don't quite make it past the finish line.
Don't count them out just yet.
No.
I think Orange have some spicy stuff up their sleeve. If they need to bring something out, it's gotta be now. Because DK, winning a game 2 like that, you have some sort of momentum, right? I'm not a professional player myself, but you see a ton of time in pro sports, a ton of time in other esports. You win a match in a best of 3 like this, you could actually just be like, easy.
I mean, if you're looking at a best of 3, if you'd rather win game 1 or game 2, take game 2.
Really? The pressure of winning the game 1 for the other team is pretty.
No. I'm saying if you have a choice, if you're going into a game 3, it's better to win the game. It's better to lose game 1 and take game 2. If you had the choice every time, you say we want game 2 because you have that you have the high morale, you have that motivation going to game 3, saying look, we can do this. We've just taken that game. Everything's going your way. So we're going to see if Orange can sort of not let their nerves get the best of them, not get too frazzled by losing this game against DK. And I think it's okay. I mean, they're an experienced team. This is one of the things here. All the teams here, apart from maybe Liquid, have such long experience. They've been playing competitive Dota for 5, 6, 7 years, and for Orange, it's no big. They'll look to bounce back. They'll regroup, figure out what kind of strategy, gameplay they want to use for Game 3. We won't see some tri-lane like we just saw with the Windrunner, which that was really where it went all wrong.
Well, I mean, they got actually a really good return kill when kind of Crystal Maiden and Alchemist got a really bad dive. The mid-game looked powerful as well when we saw Clockwork got picked off a second time. To me, it was those 3 one after another. They won multiple team fights. They got multiple pickoffs. Are we going to see the return of a tri-lane here? Because Crystal Maiden and Undying's being the pickup. I mean,
I think it just punished a really weird and bad Orange tri-lane.
Well, they saw Anti-Mage 3rd pick, and they're like, well, Anti-Mage tri-lane, a joke. Anti-Mage solo bot, we'll RTK Darkseer him. So they had a draft advantage, I want to say, going into it. But
I definitely agree that this 3 smoke dance was the key thing. That was where they looked to turn. Orange were actually ahead, had better lanes. Well, in theory, they had better lanes. They were ahead in the bottom lane. Anti-Mage was crashing. Mid lane was going well. They brought the Mag in as well. The top tri lane should have gone a little bit better, but Any of their things didn't work out for them. We'll take it back to the analyst panel, see what they had to say, and see what they think is going to be happening in game number 3.
Welcome back to the Thunderdome, guys. Crystal Maiden, 29% win rate going into this match in 2013, but she finally gets a win on the board here today.
Is it really that bad?
It's really that bad.
Okay, so what really hurt Orange there was that they did that offensive tri-lane, right, with that Windrunner, the Rubik, and Alina.
Against Undying.
And that did not do a whole lot. They didn't have enough kill power. I mean, who are you going to initiate on? As long as the CM plays back, the Undying will always drop the Tombstone, and then you can't fight in that.
And even if you kill the CM, you lose 2 or 3 heroes running away.
Exactly, and that's what the strength of the Undying does. And, I mean, Burning played that really well, but special shout-out to Super on that Clockwork. He played that game phenomenally. I mean, the amount of times he found Mushi, and they were able to kill because of him.
Right.
I mean, they were able to pressure repeatedly, over and over again, whereas Burning, for the most part, I mean, he does what Burning does. And then that fight at bottom, it looked kind of decent for a second, where he got a 3-man RP off, and then from there, things kind of just spiraled out of control. That was like the game-deciding fight for me.
I didn't even feel like DK played the tri-lane that well. You look at that tower dive top where they all dove way past the tower. They end up losing. Their Alchemist. Burning dies, as well as I believe the Crystal Maiden QQQ overextended. I actually didn't feel like DK played the tri-lane that well, giving up unnecessary kills. But Orange didn't win heavily enough. I look at this matchup in Blitz, for me, I'll take Burning over Mushi on a late game hard carry any day. I just think in the big spotlight, as good of an individual laning player as Mushi is, the knock on him has always been his mid to late game decision making, his item selection, getting that BKB there. You can kind of understand why he went for it, but they really needed a Manta style too. Didn't help him that first usage. I mean, from the item selection just to getting picked off a couple of times, I think DK is the clear edge there, but just in general, it seems like Orange as a team, they have a bigger ability to win the laning stage, but I feel they have to. Without that, I just don't see them taking this third game.
Yes, definitely. And actually, did you watch when Burning and I think Mushi had a Battle Fury around the same time with Treads?
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later, Burning had an Assault Curse and a Shadow Blade.
He did have Grievel's Greed on the side, yeah. So part of that's the hero, but I mean, part of it was just Mushi getting picked off a few times.
Yes, that fight at bottom was honestly just... I mean, they hit the 3-man RP, so it looked deceptively like a good fight. But then Mushi goes back in. He gets killed by the Alk stun, right?
Right.
And then from there on, they lost 6 heroes. The Rubik bought back, and then from there, things just completely spiraled out of control. Because they had the kill lead going into that, too.
They did. I felt like for RNG Sports, just wasn't really the right draft. The tri-lane, like you said, there was a lot of weaknesses with it. That's all behind us now for RNG Sports. They're not out of it yet. They're going to head into Game 3. Sure, they've lost this game. They still have a shot. So for me, what I would like to see is a more aggressive lineup. Put Mushi on someone who can snowball, like a gyrocopter if you want to go for more of a hard carry, even something like the Queen of Pain, something that can control the tempo, dominate the lane early, and get aggressive. Don't put him on a hard carry. Don't try to play 4 Protect 1, because I just don't think that plays to Orange's strengths. But Blitz, what do you think?
No, I completely agree. I think Orange works well where they can rotate around the map better, and then they can fight as like a 4- and 5-man group where you can see Mushi's individual skill really shine, and then you pressure DK. You don't let Burning just get a bunch of items. You put the pressure on. I mean, I think Orange is the team that's better at ganking and rotating their supports.
Their early game movement is way better than DK's. That's where DK supports really struggle, but the mid-game decision-making, that's where DK seems to have the edge.
I would personally disagree a bit in the sense, I don't think Antimage was the problem there. I think Antimage is a hero that Mushi's had actually a pretty high win rate on and great
50% win rate.
Yeah, I don't think you can blame that game on the Antimage pick at all. I think it was the rest of the Orange draft, which was just very questionable. I think Antimage is an okay hero if you build around the Antimage, which they didn't.
Yeah, I agree. The Windrunner didn't really do a whole lot for them from start to finish. I mean,
the tri-lane didn't go that well, even
really
when DK overextended.
Yeah, it doesn't really do a lot of right-click damage or anything like that. And she got like a 15, 16-minute force staff.
Yeah, what does that really bring to the team?
Exactly.
I mean, Undying probably brings more just with the Tombstone alone.
And
that's your farmer in the tri-lane too.
So in that sense, I felt like DK had something go right for them where they had a good fight at the bottom T1, and things kind of just came to them instead of them having to force anything.
Yeah.
And then good smoke ganks as well, just kind of led to a snowball win, and I mean, Burning does what Burning does best.
Let's see what Orange decide to do in Game 3. Will they go for the anti-mage? Will they go for the hard carry for Burning? Or will they prefer the snowball style? I think they're going to have a better chance if they go snowball, but Orange, they know best. They've got to pull it together now, or DK are going to take them down again. Last time these two teams met at the G1 League Season 4 in the semifinals, it was DK who prevailed 2-0, but it's a new day. It's a new year. They have one more shot. That Game 3, that decider, coming up after this. Stay tuned, guys.